What is good, Man Hour Nation? Michael Blackeister back from the dead here. Guys, we're just going to do a quick little live Man Hour on the road edition. We're out doing so bada bing, bada boom. You got to do what you got to do sometimes in this life. So with that being said, guys, got two things to cover today. Let's talk about two things that are kind of like, what? First things first. My man, Cam Newton. Cam Newton. He owns or he hosts a camp every year for 7-on-7. Players expiring that want to be in the NFL. And so what these ex coaches do, ex players do, ex whatever, right? They host these camps, and obviously, Jordy Nelson has one. Like Bill Snyder has one, right? It is a fundraising opportunity for, quote, a chance to be seen by some professional skills, right? Really, Cam Newton doesn't really do a whole lot at his camp. He has his staff do most of it, but long story short, he got jumped at his camp by a bunch of 16-year-olds. Cam Newton is up on stage, thanking people coming to his camp, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, right? Saying, hey, thanks for coming. You guys did you guys balled out. You keep at it, you'll get to the next level, right? Just a very cut and dry, copy and paste type of speech. I don't know what transpired. And when I first saw it, I was like, there is no way Cam Newton got jumped by a bunch of 16-year-olds. There's no freaking way. So I think I saw that like on Friday, maybe Saturday. Scrolling through, whatever. This morning, I finally see the video. I'm like, what? Why are there 16-year-olds trying to beat up Cam Newton? And granted, if it was one-on-one, Cam Newton would have gave these kids the business, right? There's no doubt about it. But it's like 5 or 6-on-1. Like, they are trying to beat this man up. I don't know why. If you guys know why, let me know in the comments below. And it is what it is. But I wonder what is going to come out of this, right? Because obviously you cannot hit a minor by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm sure there's a self-defense thing in there, whatever, right? Clause or something. But what led up to the 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds beating up Cam Newton? Got some people jumping in the chat here. He's got Wayne G says, new studio looks sharp. Yeah, man, just sitting in the car. Man hour on the road today, baby. Got heading back home. So decided to stop. I didn't have time to get inside, so it is what it is. John says, the wife booted you? I haven't seen my wife in a few days, so possibly. It is what it is. No, we are on the road. So probably every Monday from here on out, we'll be on the road. A few things happening in personal life that you need to take care of, right? But guys, let me know. Do you guys know why Cam Newton got beat up? I just want to know if anybody has heard the backstory of what led up to said situation, right? Next up, NFL salary cap. The salary cap blew up. Literally, in the matter of 24 hours, the salary cap was going to be X amount. 24 hours later, $30 million more. $30 million more. What? So now there's teams out there like, man, Kansas City Chiefs, for example, who are we going to go after? Do we sign Chris Jones? Do we get Willie Snead? Like Mike Williams, Tranquil? Who do we sign, right? Because they were well over the salary cap. There were other teams that are in salary cap hell. The Chargers, right? We talked about the Chargers last week, saying they might have to cut Bosa. They might have to cut Khalil Mack. They might have to cut Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, move on from all those guys. But now, all of a sudden, the grass is a little bit greener on the other side. The other side of this 24-hour period, the grass has gotten just a little bit greener. So let me ask you guys this question. Obviously, the $30 million bump in salary cap pretty much benefits everybody, right? It benefits even the teams that were under the cap can now maybe go out and explore of getting a Mike Evans from Tampa Bay Buccaneers, can go out and explore about getting a Khalil Mack, can go out and explore maybe getting Max Crosby from the Raiders, a Danielle Hunter, right? That those teams under the cap just got a little bit more room to play off. But those teams that were over the cap, most of them are still in salary cap hell. So, with that being said, who do you guys think the salary cap increase benefits the most? Was it the teams that were under the salary cap already as is, or does it help improve, or does it help the teams that were over the salary cap? In my humble opinion, I think it helps the teams that are already underneath the salary cap. Just because it is not like this team got $30 million and that team got $10 million and that team got $5 million. Everybody across the board got $30 million. But now there's teams out there that can definitely make some big plays, right? The Chicago Bears, all of a sudden, they were like $80 million under the salary cap. And then they go $30 million. Now they got $120 million to play with. They're probably going to draft Caleb Williams first overall, get Justin Fields out of town. They still got an 8th overall pick. Probably, I don't know, let's say Harrison Jr. drops down, and then they can go out in the free agency and do a lot of work. The teams under the salary cap definitely benefited from this a lot more because now there are going to be teams that still can't sign their top players. Justin Jefferson still seems to be a hot name out there. Josh Jacobs, a hot name out there. Tony Pollard, right? All the running backs out there have just become a hot topic. But what do you guys think? Over or under the salary cap? Who do you think that helps more? John People says sign Taylor attendance has improved. So I'm not exactly sure how the salary cap works. I was wanting to look this up before I jumped on here, but I didn't have time. Traffic was a little bit bad. But I'm not exactly sure how the salary cap works. I understand it's like some type of revenue sharing type thing, like the NFL or teams make X amount of money and you get like 20%. I understand it's something just like that, but I don't know exactly how it works. But I don't think it's improvements, John. I don't think the attendance can really improve because most stadiums are sold out every game, anyways. Because you only get 8 games a year to really enjoy your local team. It's more of TV, right? The TV rankings have gone up. The TV deals have increased because of, I guess, Taylor Swift, right? John says Kirk Cousins. Now the Vikings can sign Kirk Cousins. I don't know. Do you guys think the Vikings sign Kirk Cousins? And if they do, they probably won't be a long-term deal by any stretch of the imagination. I think it'll just be like a little, hey, here's a 1-year deal. If you do well, awesome, we got you on the cheap. And if you do bad, awesome, we still got you on the cheap. Either way, we're moving on next season. So I think Kirk Cousins' days in Minnesota are numbered as is. Wayne G says Chargers. Now they don't have to cut half of their roster. The problem is I still think they do. The problem is the Chargers are $80 million over the salary cap. Now that only puts them about $30 million or about $50 million over the salary cap. You're still going to have to cut some big names. LA Chargers are still in cap hell. You're still going to have to release Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack or Keenan Allen or Mike Williams. Probably 2 of those people to get really under the salary cap. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. They trade Justin Herbert. They can keep Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, keep that decent defense intact, keep the majority of the offense intact. But you get rid of overpaid Justin Herbert. You bring in, I believe, was it John that said this? Bring in a little bit of J.J. McCarty from the Michigan Wolverines. I feel that the quarterback classes are pretty deep this year. You could probably get the 10th, 12th quarterback off of the board, and he could probably be started day one. If I were the Chargers, I would look to try to move from Justin Herbert. He is an overpaid guy, overpaid, that really hasn't done shit for you. Let's just be honest. He has not done a lot for you. Yes, he led you to the playoffs last season, or 2 seasons ago. Also blew a 28-point lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What? John says Raiders are after Jimmy G. Are the Raiders going to keep Jimmy G? I don't think. If the Raiders keep Jimmy G after benching him for AOC and then going to draft and moving up in the draft to draft a quarterback, they're absolutely stupid at this particular point. Plus, Jimmy G has been suspended for 2 games for steroid use. Oh, Jimmy G probably is done in the NFL. Let's just be honest. His good looks only got him so far. Jim Powell says the team it helps the most is the Chiefs, and let us all find out. All of us need to find a Snead or Jones. Yes, I agree. The Kansas City Chiefs. Actually, I posted a meme about it. I think was the NFL script has has been leaked, right? The Kansas City Chiefs sign everybody because the NFL salary cap increase. That's a weird pink, man. No windows and selling candy. But yeah, it definitely helps the Chiefs a lot, Jim. I think. Wayne G says the extra $30 million I think gives the Bears an excuse to keep Fields. That extension doesn't seem so big anymore. Listen, the Chicago Bears. Off the top of my head, if they keep Justin Fields, they're probably going to have to sign him to a long-term deal. Do you franchise tag him and give him 30? I don't know what the franchise tag for the quarterbacks will be, like $30 million or something to that effect. But if you keep Justin Fields and then you draft Caleb Williams number 1 overall, and Justin Fields plays out of his mind, plays at an MVP level, wins the MVP in 2024, leads the Bears to the playoffs, what do you do then? Because now you're between a rock and a hard place, right? You are legit stuck between a rock and a hard place. You drafted a quarterback number 1 overall, expecting to be your future. Sit him behind Justin Fields, maybe learn the game a little bit, baby steps into said situation. But then you have an MVP quarterback. You just can't let him walk in free agency, right? Because you franchise tagged him. So either you got to tag and trade, which is very hard to do, or you sign him to a long-term deal now, which he's going to be $200 million for 5-6 years, whatever it is, right? And then you have to try to unload that contract onto somebody else. It is a very tough situation in Chicago. It's either you are in on Justin Fields and you trade out of that number 1 overall pick and get a couple more first rounds and build around him, or you are all out on Justin Fields and you draft that quarterback number 1. I don't think there's any halfway point for the Chicago Bears at all. There is absolutely nothing they can do that would be more detrimental to their team than to draft a quarterback and keep Justin Fields. Stupid. Wayne G says they trade Herbert, they'll take a $129 million cap hit in 2024. See, this is something that I do not understand about the NFL. I understand about, maybe trying to get your guy in for a year and then unloading him and playing the books or whatever, right? But if a player wants out, a player wants to be traded or whatever, right? Why does my team have to take that salary cap hit when I move him when we move away from him? Shouldn't there be some type of clause in there saying, hey, like, we traded him to said team. Maybe we could take half of the salary cap hit, or I feel like there has to be some type of middle ground. Like all this salary cap hit crap is stupid. So like if you trade a person, he's no longer. It's like paying alimony. It's stupid, right? We're divorced. Yes, we were making $200,000 a year together, awesome. But now you're only making like 80. My bad. I should have to pay you $20,000 a year to make up for your lifestyle. It's. I don't understand this salary cap hit crap. Stupid. Excuse me. John says after Marvin Harrison, maybe they can restructure his contract. Why would you want to restructure a rookie contract? That seems kind of asinine, like at that point. Oh. This is $50 million in less than 3 years. Just do away with it and let them play the Bionic Arms. What if the NFL took away the salary cap? I mean, we saw a salary capless Major League Baseball back in the 90s, right? And the Yankees won how many championships? Because they were just buying all the talent. Like, they didn't care if they needed it. They took the best player from whatever team and they said, come over here, put you in some pinstripes, shave your beard, cut your hair, you'll win a ring. It was many, many years that the Kansas City Chiefs were the major league farm team for the Yankees, right? The Royals would bring them up through their farm system, put them in the major leagues for a year, maybe two. Bada bing, bada boom, they got shipped off to Yankees. Johnny Damon, right? What was the first baseman's name? Sweeney, right? They did it many, 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 many times, and then the Royals got good, and now they're the major league farm system, like again. But you salary cap in sports makes the even playing field, right? Makes it a little bit more even playing field. Although the NFL is pretty level from top to bottom, anyways. That's like as far as how much money a team makes. But I think there should be a new salary cap rule. I think that you should have like a salary cap for said positions, right? Um, like your quarterback rooms, your receiver rooms, linebacker rooms, whatever, or maybe just a salary cap for everybody, and then you have the quarterback salary cap. Uh, I think there needs to be some type of restructuring of the current system, but it is what it is. My dad's in the chat. What's up, Dad? He says Mike Evans to the Kansas City Chiefs. Can the Chiefs afford Mike Evans? Mike Evans is what, 10 years in the league? Do you want to pay a potentially washed up receiver? We don't know what he seems to be getting hurt a lot. Yes, he's had 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Awesome. But he's going to probably want $15 to $20 million. You bring him in, you got to let go of Snead or Chris Jones. Which one do you want? We won a Super Bowl with the receivers that we have. Do you want to bring in Mike Evans? Probably not. I mean, it would be nice to have that, quote, number one guy. It would be nice to have a high-flying offense again. It would be nice to be able to rely on some not people dropping the ball. Oh, Mike Evans does drop the ball. He had 15 drops this season. A lot of big drops. But I think you got to, for the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to put the money on the defense. You got to put the money on the defense. You got to pay Chris Jones. You got to pay Snead. You got to get Tranquil back. You got to get Mike Edwards back. The Chiefs have got to bring back their defense. You will always have Patrick Mahomes for another 9 years or whatever it is, right? On his current contract. Patrick Mahomes will be Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes will step up when the time matters, and the defense will get better. But receivers, maybe trust the process a little bit, right? They're all still pretty young. We said that about the Green Bay Packers last season, right? Or this season, like actually week 1 through 7, like, oh, the Packers receivers are so bad. They're first and second year players. Slow it down, baby. Year went on, they got better. Jordan Love got better. Packers got better. Packers made the playoffs, beat the Green Bay Packers, or beat the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe we just got to wait it out for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you are a Kansas City Chiefs head, maybe you got to play it out and see what MVS can do. I think he's a free agent. You got to play it out and see what Sky Moore is going to shape out to be, right? They have Watson still. They still what they need to do if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, they need to start looking life beyond Travis Kelce. They need to look on potentially who is going to be their next tight end. Yes, I do know they got a couple guys on the roster. I don't think they're going to be Travis Kelce by any stretch of the imagination. But if you want to play that game, Kyle Pitts is a free agent. Interesting. Yes, they upped the salary cap. They did. Wayne G says this is an incredibly deep receiver class as well. Chiefs shouldn't sign a vet when they can get a star in round 2, 3, or 4. Very true. Really, thinking about it now, the Kansas City Chiefs have to nail the draft the next 3, 4, 5 years. Because of the salary cap they are going to be in with potentially signing Chris Jones to a big deal, Patrick Mahomes is a big deal. You're going to have Snead getting a deal. You are going to have to be able to draft well. And this is where Brett Beach and the rest of the general manager group there has to nail the draft. Kansas City Chiefs have to nail the draft. They should keep Jones, but let Snead go. What is more important? One of the best cornerbacks safety combos in the game right now. Snead did not allow a touchdown till the playoffs all season long, or Chris Jones that doesn't really turn it on till about week 7 and then is a complete stud. What is more important, not giving up touchdowns or putting pressure on the quarterback? That is tough because obviously Snead, I think, can lock down one side of the field. Put him on your best guy, lock him down, not going to eat. But what makes Snead's job a hell of a lot easier? A good pass rush. Chris Jones. I don't know. That is tough. That is very, very, very tough. John says, trade him to Vegas. Nobody wants to go to Vegas. Even the Vegas GOAT himself, Max Crosby, wants out of Vegas. Max Crosby wants to come to the Kansas City Chiefs. Nobody wants to go to Vegas. Remember, we got to Cook, who was injured early in the season. I don't remember who Cook is. Jim says Willie Snead cheats to do it. Listen, if you're not cheating, you are not trying. If you are not playing in that gray area, you are not trying. If you are not pushing the limits, Jim, you are not trying. I teach my kids that play after play after play, game after game after game, practice after practice after practice. Push the limits. See how far the referee will let you hold his jersey. Push the limits to see how far you can put your hand around his neck. Push the limits to see how far you can pull on his pants until the referee says something. Push the limits. It's the referee's job to reel it back in. It's the referee's job to keep me within the limits of the game. It is the referee's job to keep me from playing in the gray area. If the referee's going to let me play in the gray area, sometimes even the black area, let's be it, baby. Let's be it. John says, that sounds like a Raider mentality, Buck. It sounds like I was raised by a good man. Jim says, my point. Will he get called on any other team? Will it, though? Will it, though? I would say there's probably more eyes on the Chiefs right now than any other team. Especially after back-to-back Super Bowls. 3-peat coming. So Cook is a DB like Snead and Dan and Tanquill. So kind of like that strong safety linebacker setup thing. I don't remember Cook. Actually, Cook was a linebacker, and then Tranquil came and took his spot, right? I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been a long season. John says a Raiders fan. No, I was raised by a Lions fan. Unfortunately, suffered through a lot of the 0-16 seasons. Suffered through the quarterback running out of the back of the end zone. Suffered through Dante Culpepper being their quarterback after like bionic leg. Uh, yeah, no. DUI dad and a loudmouth brother. Yeah, go Queefs. Listen, just because somebody's dad gets a couple DUIs, four, it doesn't mean he's a bad dad. Just because my younger brother likes to grope waitresses and get thrown in jail doesn't mean he's a bad person. If you know, you know. But guys, that is going to be it for today. A little man hour on the road. I'm going to get inside here now and get little man off the bus. But we'll be back in the studio tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place, 10 a.m. East Coast time. We are going to talk more about this salary cap. We're going to start diving into the draft as well. And oh, by the way, combine starts this week as well. What are you guys looking forward to most? The combine. All that much, much more coming up tomorrow on Man Hour Edition. Back in the studio. Have a great day, guys. ELE. Everybody love everybody.